My name is Oludamini Ogunnaike, and I'm going to be reading some poems from my book, The Book of Clouds. We are tears, but no ocean can hold us. Just dust, but more weighty than boulders. What broke the sky and the earth's shoulders is what makes our hearts burn and eyes smolder. Fresh as buds, but then time we are older. Soft snowflakes, but we're harder than soldiers. We do drops grab the sun's hair and hold her until she returns what we owe her. Though this life's hard as winter and colder, to the nightingales we are all roses. Though this night's long, they've shackled and sold us. When dawn's breeze blows, we're those who arose first. Suleiman knows these spells and all those versed. So your poetry's cursed and your prose worse. Most men who break this silence are posers. What we've tasted has sewn closed our mouth's mirth. Those who know can read well our woes smirk. We are tears, but no ocean can hold us. So what's going on with the rhyme scheme in this poem? We have hold us, boulder, shoulders, smolder, older, old shoulders, soldiers, etc. In Arabic poetry, the rhyme is called a qafiyya, and it's really what that and the meter is what ties the poem together in the poetic traditions that kind of I've been trained in. What I'm trying to do is bring that over into English. We already have this in English, of course, with hip hop and rap and then older poetry. But what I think this does is it kind of creates this tension as you're building up to the rhyme, and then it's almost like the beat dropping. The rhyme drops, and then each time it's a rhyme, so it's not the same thing each time. It's familiar, it's a repetition of something familiar, but it's repetition with difference each time. It's almost like a kaleidoscope turning. Each verse is like a kaleidoscope turning. You see the overall subject matter is the same, really, in every verse, but it's a different perspective on it, So I kind of think of the rhyme as this turning of the kaleidoscope. It's a repetition with difference, and it creates this kind of almost incantory musical quality to the poem, which grabs you, hopefully, and moves you all the way through the poem from beginning to end. So this is one of the reasons I think why Arabic, Persian, Islamic poetry in general works so well when it's sung. It's very musical, in part because of this heavy emphasis on rhyme. And that's what I'm trying to do in my English poetry as well. Though this night's long, they've shackled and sold us. When dawn's breeze blows, we're those who arose first. What does that verse mean? Well, to get there, I need to start at the beginning of the poem and explain some of those verses first, so we'll do that now. We are tears, but no ocean can hold us. Just dust, but more weighty than boulders. So this opening line comes from actually a poem by Badal, who was a great South Asian Persian poet, 18th century. He basically says the same thing in a Persian poem. The idea is tears are made of the same substance as ocean, the salty waters. Right? Just like we're made of the same substance as the world. We think we're small beings in a big world, but really all of the big worlds are contained in us. Just dust, but more weighty than boulders. Human beings, Islamically, mythologically, are made of water and earth. So we have the water, the tears, the earth, the dust. And we're just dust, from dust to dust. But again, we're just dust. We're inconsequential from one point of view. From another point of view, we're of the greatest consequence. We're the only things on the planet that can destroy the planet. What broke the sky and the earth's shoulders is what makes our hearts burn and eyes smolder. This is an allusion to a verse of the Quran, part of Islamic kind of mythology. God offered the trust to the heavens and the mountains, and they refused it. And the trust, a lot of Sufis say, is love. This option, this ability to be a lover. So this thing that broke the sky and the earth's shoulders, that's what gives us heart. That's the fire that you see in our eyes. Soft snowflakes, but we're fresh as buds, but in time we are older. Again, we're new in the world, we're new on the scene, but from another point of view, we're the oldest thing. There is nothing older than consciousness. Everything comes from consciousness. Soft snowflakes, but we're harder than soldiers. Again, you could do this political thing. Today, everybody gets called snowflake. But again, we're snowflakes, we're unique, we're fragile. Human beings are very fragile things. You just poke us and we die. But from another point of view, we're the toughest things there are. We do drops grab the sun's hair and hold her until she returns what we owe her. The sun is, again, image of God. These rays from the sun the things that we grab onto until we get evaporated and return to God. Okay, though this life's hard as winter and colder, to the nightingales, we are all roses. Life's hard. Life's really hard. It feels like winter, it feels cold. But to the nightingales, to the lovers, that's the image of the classical lovers in Sufi poetry, all lovers see are roses. Right? To the saints, there's all these Sufi songs. All I see are saints around me. People who are saints, they just see God everywhere. Though this night's long, they've shackled and sold us. When dawn's breeze blows, we're those who arose first. So this is again a common Sufi image of us being cast out of paradise, cast into this world, shackled and sold like Joseph thrown down in the well. We're in a tough situation. We're in a bad situation. We're enslaved by all of these things around us. But when dawn's breeze blows, when the resurrection happens, which isn't just sometime in the future, it can be right now, we're the ones who arise first. We're the first to rise up and return. So that's what that line's about. That's kind of what this poem is about. It's been a pleasure sharing my poetry with you. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. The book is called The Book of Clouds, published by Fons Vitae Press. You can find it online at Fons Vitae's website, fonsvitae.com. It's also available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, major booksellers, your local bookstore. Please go support them. Thank you again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.